Ryan Cady, Michelle Bandini, and Stephen Byrne head into the cosmos of a changed reality as the young Hyperion and Imperial Guard head into the negative zone to finish one last mission. But what they find in the zone threatens the entire galaxy, and the heroes cannot let it escape, even if it costs them their lives. Ryan Cady, much like how Jason Aaron is channeling Superman comics in his Heroes Reborn main series, channels Superboy in the Legion of Superheroes here to tell an awesome adventure with the young Hyperion and the Imperial Guard, building off a plotline we saw briefly in Heroes Reborn issue 2 regarding what happened to that team and what became of them. I thoroughly enjoyed the continuing homage to Superman, Superman comics, and DC Comics in general through this event, as well as the idea that without the Avengers around, Marvel's universe basically becomes just the DC universe. It's such a simple idea and it's presented so far very well. Hyperion's portrayal was also quite fantastic here. He's still a very naive young hero, and you compare him to the present day version in the Heroes Reborn main series and as a totally different character. I like that he's much more like Superman in this story. He's trying to help others and save what they can, but you can start to see how spending time with the Imperial Guard, a very hardline alien and aliens only group, shaped him. Another interesting and a little humorous part of the issue was that the idea is that this is just one issue in a larger series, this issue being touted as issue 121 of an actual Hyperion and the Imperial Guard series, so it makes reference to books that don't actually exist, much like how the recent Crime Syndicate book over at DC does that as well. It also continues in the great quote-unquote preview for the Starjammers book that obviously won't be coming out since it's meant to be released in 1992. Michelle Bandini and Stephen Byrne both tackle the cosmic stories and are both absolutely suited for the book in the artwork department, especially when the stories explore space aliens and wars in the stars. Bandini did some really fantastic heroic stuff with Hyperion, making him look like a real hero throughout the portion of the book that she did, while Stephen, who's no stranger to cosmic hero adventures and no stranger to Legion of Superheroes, excelled at telling a rather brisk, action-heavy story with what is essentially the Guardians of the Galaxy of this reality. Hyperion and the Imperial Guard issue 1 was a great Legion of Superheroes inspired issue that further expanded the Heroes Reborn reality and world, giving us some great insights into how the Shi'ar Empire are in this world, who are Nova Corps members in this world since they're not the same as the other Marvel universes, as well as a look at Hyperion's early adventures while also building him into the tough and patriotic hero we see in Heroes Reborn. I'm going to give this issue a 9 out of 10. Hyperion and the Imperial Guard issue 1 finds the young Hyperion pondering space, finding no eyes upon him or critics or cues, only nothingness, and he is alone. As he sits atop the Magister's mercy, Hyperion knows that what good would this peace be with no souls to share it with. Soon Oracle contacts him, knowing that it's his last day on his ship and he's choosing to spend it alone. The hero knows that he wasn't exactly alone, feeling her with him. Going into the airlock, he gets ready to kiss Sybil, but the rest of the team are there as well, wanting to celebrate Hyperion's final day with the Imperial Guard. The young hero is surprised with their generosity, wondering what he did to deserve such friends, but Gladiator is surprised he still clings to such human humility, wanting him to be proud of the honor and glory he's brought to the Imperial Guard. Hyperion says he really is proud and will remember this day forever. Manta reminds the team that the mission log isn't exactly clear yet, and there is still one loose end to deal with before Mark heads home. She says while Deathbird is out of the picture, they never investigated her hidden keep. Gladiator just wants to assign a cleanup crew to deal with it, especially since while Hyperion earned the Starjammers' respect and they gave them the coordinates to the keep, he knows never to trust pirates. Hyperion says that Corsair and his team weren't misleading them and they've got nothing to gain by lying to the Imperial Guard, since the pirates knew the keep was in the negative zone, but they didn't have a way to get in. But Hyperion does, thanks to him learning that his atomic vision can break through to the zone when they destroyed a cross-dimensional window used by Rogue Chitauri. Gladiator relents, knowing that it's on their way back home, so they will go on one final mission, as long as Hyperion is ready to go back into the unknown. The hero is, leaving the ship and getting into position, opening a portal to the negative zone with his atomic vision. The team head into the negative zone and to the Hidden Keep, Deathbird's former lair, where her untold treasures lay ready for the Imperial Guard to reclaim. The team disembark from their ship, told by Gladiator to claim whatever riches there are there for the Empire. He tells the teams to stick together as Flashfire is stung on the neck by a bug, finding it stings quite a little bit. The man is called back to the team as he knows that it was just a bug that bit him. The team all split up, with Gladiator leading the main unit towards the superstructures of the floating islands. Hyperion thanks him for this one last mission, but Gladiator wonders if it's his permission that surprises Hyperion, since every warrior bears the heart of a sentimentalist, and few bonds run deeper than that of the love of a comrade in arms. Hyperion finds that rather beautiful, feeling like this is his last day at summer camp, except it's got a creepy supervillain's fortress in it. Gladiator knows it's not over yet, and while the others look for treasure, they will make sure Deathbird didn't leave any nasty surprises behind. Hyperion and Oracle leave to secure the perimeter, getting to share a moment alone with one another. Oracle reveals that she has made a decision and plans to renounce her role in the Empire and Imperial Guard and return to Earth with Mark. She kisses him, knowing that his soul is worth leaving home for. Gladiator hopes that the Lovebirds have finished, since he's about to unlock Deathbird's personal terminal, and they're going to want to be there for it. In the lagoons, Flashfire and Neutron also share an alone time, but Flashfire isn't in the mood, knowing he should be happy that Hyperion is leaving, but he and Oracle being together is getting to him. Neutron finds that boring, pulling Flashfire towards him with his powers and telling him to forget about Oracle. The two share a kiss, surprising Neutron, asking if he's feeling alright. Flashfire says he's kinda burning up ever since that bug bite, feeling like his muscles are melting. Neutron tries to contact Gladiator but can't, since the base they are in seems to be shielded. He leaves Flashfire by a tree as the man says that Neutron can forget about Hyperion and everyone else. Neutron leaves to find others as Flashfire is infected with something, saying that they can all be together and feel better real soon. The others meanwhile look around Deathbird's lab, knowing that it was sealed off and in some type of quarantine protocol. Neutron returns to Flashfire only to find him hiding in a bush. The infected man asks if he's brought others as the heroes are attacked. In the lab, the heroes learn the Brood were there and they were contained in the lab but aren't anymore, as Flashfire is infected by the Brood parasites, attacking the heroes outside, but it's too late as they are taken by the aliens. Gladiator finds that they can't contact the team, with Manta knowing there is only one course of action for this. Manta knows that after a few minutes the infection of the Brood is permanent, so Hyperion wants to go and find the rest of the team, but Gladiator knows careless action is what got them there to begin with. Manta thinks that Oracle should scan the others' minds and check for invaders, but Sybil knows that the walls of the base seem to be blocking her, so from outside she should be able to use her powers better and recognize the others' true thoughts. Heading outside, Oracle tries to use her powers but is immediately overcome with pain, finding the Brood have infected the team and they are lost as Flashfire and the other infected heroes confront the uninfected heroes. The team battle their former friends, keeping them at bay as Hyperion wonders if they should be using non-lethal force, but Gladiator knows the enemy won't, so they can't either, and the best they can do is escape without getting infected. Hyperion is stung by one of the Brood, but the hero's body instantly destroys the parasite from infecting him. Manta knows that Hyperion's atomic energy must prevent the egg from ever taking hold of him. Oracle passes out as Gladiator takes down Flashfire, told by Manta that there is no other way. Gladiator tells the hero that her sacrifice won't be in vain as the woman takes to the sky, unleashing her light and getting the Brood's attention, letting Gladiator, Hyperion and the unconscious Oracle escape as she is torn to pieces. Gladiator says that if the Brood get their hands on their ship, they could spread across the galaxy and end all life as they know it, but even Deathbird, as mad as she was trying to keep them contained and captured, so she had a failsafe and Manta discovered it. He says that the keep sits in a bubble on the surface of the negative zone, and any force strong enough to enter the zone will be able to collapse the bubble and destroy it. Hyperion knows this means that his atomic vision will pop the bubble, and Gladiator knows that their friends are lost and they can't be allowed to return, as Hyperion tells him that he will give them enough time to follow through after they collapse the portal, handing the unconscious Oracle over to Gladiator, telling the man that she is everything to him. Gladiator knows everything is at stake here as Hyperion speeds through the portal, getting ready to pop the bubble as Gladiator drops Oracle, knowing that she is lost lost and the parasites have taken over her and he can't hold her back, telling Hyperion that he needs to close the portal now on him. With no other choice, Hyperion unleashes all his atomic energy, blowing apart the portal, which leaves him stranded in the middle of the silent void of space, alone once more. In another part of space, Scott and Alex Summers of the Starjammers train with their mutant powers, with Scott almost cutting Alex in half with his concussive blast. Scott says that he's fine since he's got 20/20 vision, but Alex grabs his brother as Groot and Rocket arrive, telling them to knock it off with the mutant laser crap without adult supervision. Scott apologizes since things got out of hand, but Rocket knows one wrong wink or laser hula from either of the boys and the ship's hull will be breached, and it'll cause explosive decompression. And he worked really hard on Alex's plasma regulator, so he better not overload it playing patty cake with his brother. An alarm soon goes off over the ship, waking up Corsair and Hepzibah, who rush to the bridge to find what set off the proximity alarm. The alarms are muted and the team see a Nova Corpsman knocking on their airlock door. Rocket thinks it's great time for more target practice, but Corsair says no, since with the Imperial Guard going MIA, the Shi'ar are finally off their backs, so they don't want to get into another fight with Xander because they are bored. Corsair contacts the Nova, apologizing for the delay and welcoming him on board before telling the team just one guy can't do that much damage and he isn't going to want anything major from them. The Nova introduces himself as Jonathan Storm and he's commandeering their ship as an emergency transport for his cargo. The team ready to attack, but Johnny readies his own powers, saying he will defend himself. The Starjammers attack, grabbing Nova as he blasts a hole through Groot. Johnny puts up quite the fight, blasting Corsair and Scott away before the team stopped their attack. Johnny says that he was wrong to come in the way he did, wanting them to hear him out as the ship is suddenly rocked by something outside. Out in space, a Shi'ar strike fleet arrives, contacting the ship and telling them that they are harboring a fugitive, and on order of Magister Decan, they are sentenced to execution. Nova says that they are his enemies as well, but Corsair tells him to sit quietly until they can brutally interrogate him later. Corsair tells the team that he's going to try some maneuvers, and while Scott helps him as a co-pilot, Hep will man the weapons and remind the Shi'ar how they feel about their laws. Johnny tries to get Alex to help him, but the boy isn't interested since it is his fault that the Shi'ar are after them. Rocket says it's their ship that they are shooting at and he needs to keep an eye on the Nova. Alex asks how they can trust Johnny, so Nova hands over the Nova Corps exclusive warp route codes, getting Alex to put it into the ship's computer. The codes take over and plot a new course as Rocket hopes the boy didn't just fall for the old secret warp route trick. Johnny says that it's not a trick and that he doesn't have time to explain as Corsair returns, sword in hand, knowing the man owes him a lot more than explanations. Corsair knows that he chose the Starjammers to commandeer for a reason, wondering why Decan the Mad is so determined to destroy some random Nova. Nova's crate opens and a being from inside says it wasn't Johnny's plan to seek their assistance and it's not their fault her brother is looking for him. A woman emerges from the crate and is revealed to be Lilandra Neramani, the Magistrix in exile of Chandalar, who tells the Starjammers that while she doesn't need their friendship, she wants their employment to reclaim her throne. Rocket asks why they would do such a thing, and Lilandra says that they're going to recapture the Phoenix Force and use it to stop the Shi'ar Empire once and for all.